What's up guys, so this video is all about learning the spray patterns and shooting techniques with the Vandal. It's important that you learn the sprays of the gun so it's burned into your muscle memory and you end up whiffing less of your shots in game. With that said, let's hop into the guide. Alright guys, so first we're going to be talking about the spray pattern of the Vandal, what it's like at different ranges, just so that you have an idea of what it looks like. So when you full auto the Vandal, the spray drags upwards and to the right. Once it reaches the highest point in the spray, it begins to sway left and right. And the big difference between sprays in Valorant compared to sprays in another game like CSGO is that in Valorant, this left and right sway is somewhat random. So sometimes the spray will move to the opposite side after one bullet. Sometimes it'll take multiple bullets before it switches to the other side. So I'm just gonna demonstrate that here at the target. So this is me without controlling my aim at all. We're just going to be full autoing for 25 bullets and then see what at each range how the range affects the spray. All right, so this is the spray pattern at 5 meters. As you can see, it kind of goes upwards to the right and then to the left and makes a sort of a backward 7. That is gonna be the gist of the spray pattern at each range, but you can see how much of a difference it makes at each range. So this is at 10 meters. Kind of shows that if the enemy is really close to you, 5 meters or less, then you probably don't have to tap, or you probably don't have to burst either. At 5 meters, the spray is pretty accurate. At 10 meters, it kind of gets a little bit crazy. Obviously, if this was a person, then after like the 4th shot, you would be shooting really inaccurately unless you're controlling the spray. So this is the spray pattern at 20 meters. As you can see, it's already going off the screen. Anything past 20 meters, the first 3 bullets are kind of accurate, and then after the 8th bullet, 7th bullet, it's completely off the screen. This is at 30 meters for reference. So at 30 meters, you only get 5 bullets on the target. And then let's just do 50 meters for fun. Of course, you're not going to be full spraying at 50 meters, but only the first 3 and the 3rd bullet's already off. So at anything that's at this range, you definitely need to be tapping to make use of the Vandal. All right, so another thing that I kind of want to showcase in this section is what the Vandal spray pattern is when you're zoomed in, because it is a little bit different. It's a little bit more controlled compared to full autoing without being zoomed in. And so now for the zoomed in spray at 20 meters. So even at 20 meters, it's really off. You want to make sure that you're controlling the spray at each range. For reference, we're going to be showing the 30 meter range zoomed in. So this only like the first 6 shots actually hit. And then at 50 zoomed in. So only the first 5 shots hit in that case. Now that we kind of understand what the spray pattern of the Vandal actually looks like, which is pretty much a backward 7 that sways left and right after around the 7th or 8th bullet. We can move on to actually controlling the aim to make sure that most of the bullets go within that center circle. So when you're trying to control the recoil, you want to compensate with your crosshair and pretty much do the opposite direction of what the spray is doing. So for example, you want to drag down to the right for about the first 8 bullets, and then after that you're gonna have to notice when the gun sways, because the swaying left and right is a little bit different each time. Pretty much after the 8th or 7th bullet, you'll notice on the screen, if you have the crosshair enabled, that the top link of the crosshair is going to disappear after a certain amount of time. So you can see how the top crosshair is gone. That means that once the crosshair is gone, that means that the spray has become more random. So for sure, the first 8 shots are going to be upwards and to the right. Those first couple shots are going to be upwards and to the right, and you can perfectly control that first initial burst of the gun. So you should definitely practice that at the least if you don't want to practice swaying. something like that. And then you want to practice this at each range. So let's go ahead and practice at 10. I think this is probably a more reasonable distance for controlling your spray. So what I'm doing is I'm just dragging down to the right for the first 8 or so bullets. Let's try that again. And you want to try to get all the bullets in the circle, because I mean anything out the circle you're already missing your target. Yeah, you're gonna need to practice it at different lengths just to be consistent. Every length is gonna be a little bit different with the amount that you have to pull down just because of how far they are. So kind of shows how less efficient spraying is. I think once you get past 20 meters, you should probably not be spraying anymore. Even at 20 meters, I tend to tap or even burst. And most of the time, you're only ever that distance if you're like across the site, or maybe you're playing long, defending long, attacking long. That's the only time that you're going to be like this, actually this far away. And so when you're that far away, you want to make sure that you bring down your crosshair a little bit more than you would when it's at, for example, 5 meters away. Alright, so now for when you want to control your spray past the 8 to 10 bullet marks, once it becomes kind of random, you're gonna have to notice when the gun starts to sway and prepare for it. And you're only really gonna get to understand that over time and just over practice. So what I like to do is just practice at 10 meters and practice trying to get all 25 or so bullets in the circle. And I just have infinite ammo on just so that it's a little bit easier. I don't have to keep reloading the gun. So I'll demonstrate right now just how you want to practice controlling your Vandal spray. So as I'm spraying, I'm kind of paying attention to where the bullet traces are going to make sure that once it starts to sway, that I compensate for it with my aim. So my crosshair is not really like on the person anymore, it's under the person, and I'm trying to compensate it as I see the bullets move. So I'll just do this a couple more times just so that you guys understand what I'm doing. You're just gonna have to keep trying it until you get used to it. Of course, with the Phantom, it's a little bit easier to spray than the Vandal. But sometimes you're gonna have to be spraying with the Vandal just because there's so many. Maybe you get rushed and there's like 3 people in front of you, you need to spray them all down. Wasting that time to regain the accuracy will probably result in you being dead. So you're going to have to spray. Yeah, it's a little bit hard past the 8-minute mark or the 8-second mark just because of the randomness involved. So overall, the Vandal is a solid choice for someone who likes to tap on heads and focus on accuracy at almost any range. The recoil of the Vandal gets kind of wonky at long range, so I highly suggest bursting or tapping in order to get that one-shot headshot. If you're having trouble finding out which rifle you like best, you should try using exclusively the Vandal for one match, and then exclusively use the Phantom for one match, just to see which one you enjoy using more. Also, if you're interested in improving your aim even more, I recently uploaded a video about crosshair placement, and it's a super easy way to improve your aim, so you should definitely go watch that video. The video should be on the screen sometime around now. Also, feel free to stop by my stream if you have any questions or just want to hang out. I stream on Twitch on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 12 p.m. PST at twitch.tv/BakeSharpie. Also, I wanted to say thank you guys for all the support for this YouTube channel as well as my Twitch. Every sub and follow really does help a lot. You guys are all freaking awesome. Last thing, I hope these videos help you get better at Valorant. And with that, have a great day and happy fragging.